Alright guys, so we're back with another movie news episode, and the first news point we're talking about today is the fact that Avatar may just be the first movie to make $3 billion. I'm talking about Avatar 2, of course, where the first one is sitting up around $2.9 billion at the box office. However, it hasn't had another re-release, so it's going to sit there for a while. Whereas Avatar 2 is currently sitting around $2.2 to $2.3 billion as we speak, and it's still going to be in the cinemas for another month to 2 months. So, in my opinion, in my educated guess, I'm going to say it's going to hit that $3 billion mark in its first release, which is absolutely insane, something that is completely unheard of, and something that I think would shock a lot of film audiences and a lot of movie buffs in general, because everyone was talking about the fact that it needed to make a lot of money to break even, and people were saying that this wouldn't be a profitable movie. People were even saying it may not even hit $2 billion. A lot of people before the movie came out were saying it's gonna bust, no one cares about Avatar anymore, it's been, what had it been, 13 years or so, so a lot of people were saying it wouldn't be as profitable as the first one, and definitely wouldn't beat Avengers Endgame. However, clearly it's super popular, clearly it's super profitable, and it's soared past $2 billion, it's clearly broken even by a long margin, by at least $500 million at this point, so we're talking about it hitting $3 billion in its first release. I don't think people truly understand how insane that is, that a movie that's a sequel that hadn't been made in 12 years has managed to make $3 billion in its first release. So, in my opinion, I think this just goes to show that James Cameron knows exactly what he's doing, right? A lot of people may question whether or not he's the best director. I wouldn't say James Cameron is the best director, but what you can say is that the man knows how to make a movie that people want to watch. He clearly knows how to build a world that people want to watch, and that's something I wanted to talk about in this video, in this news topic, is that the importance of building a world that people enjoy. Because at the end of the day, movies are an escape. And yes, it's good to have an important subplot, to have a message, to have a real nuanced story behind it. But you also have to give the audience some sense of escapism. Because that's where the money's going to come in. Because people don't want to sit there, especially in a 2 to 3 hour long movie, and not feel a sense of escape. Right? You can watch a great movie, but there always has to be a heightened element to it. A lot of people say the best movies are the most relatable. The best movies are the ones that are most realistic. However, even when you look at the top movies, they always have a sense of escapism, whether it's The Godfather, which is a super realistic movie, but we're not all mafia bosses, right? It's a sense of escapism. You look at a movie like Marriage Story, super, super relatable. However, that is that sense of escapism because it's almost like a dream world. It's almost like complete reality, but there's something beautiful about it, whether it's from the cinematography, whether it's from the writing, the amazing relationship between two people. There's always a heightened sense of realism. It can never be purely realistic. And James Cameron has shown how profitable it is to create a world that people like to watch. So, as we saw with the first Avatar, many people went back a second time to cinemas, not because the movie was layered. The movie was quite on the nose, right? It's quite obvious what he's saying, the plot is quite basic, but it was so beautiful. And people love watching a movie and imagining themselves living in that world of the movie. And the same things happened again with the second one, and that's exactly what James Cameron said. He said he had to work out the Avatar formula, the money-making formula with film, and he said that it took him 10, 15 drafts and redrafts to realize that the magic was in the fact that the world was so appealing. People wanted to imagine themselves living on the planet Pandora. So he said he built the second movie entirely around making just a magical experience for the audience, and that's clearly resulted in people going back a second, a third, some people a fourth time, and that's what's generated all this revenue. It's the same thing with Marvel. However, I would say Marvel would make more money if they had beautiful imagery. We all know the cinematography in Marvel is not that great. So I think that's the reason Avatar 2 has been so profitable, why Avatar 2 is such a big movie, possibly the biggest movie of all time. I would definitely say the biggest movie of all time. However, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, why you think it's made so much money, and do you think it's going to make $3 billion? Let me know down below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on my next video.